What is your opinion on no taxation without representation?
Well, people cannot be taxed if they are not represented. This is what the colonists first started after the Stamp Act. And it wasn't the first act imposed on the American colonists. There was also the Sugar Act and the Currency Act. So by the time the Stamp Act finally came around and it was taxing all kinds of legal documents and all kinds of paper in society, and they were a paper society, they're not an electronic society, the colonists started really getting mad and protesting this idea of no taxation without representation because no one from the colonies was actually representing them in Parliament. So it sucked.
What's your opinion on no taxation without representation?
My opinion on it is I think it's a fair theory. If you're going to be taxed for whatever, their government's taking money out of your paycheck and you're paying money, you should be able to be represented in government. It's kind of our founding fathers' ideas where, if the government's taking money out of your paycheck, or if the government's taking money from you, or you go to buy goods and services and you're paying taxes, you at least should get something out of it. Whether it's schools, whether it's roads, whether it's construction, you should get something out of your money if it's being taken from you, and I think that's just kind of a common sense thing. And then as far as representation in government, if we didn't have a say in government, America wouldn't be what it is today. So we're trying to make sure, if you're paying taxes for that, you want to make sure you're able to vote and you're able to have your say for some of the laws and some of the people that are being elected.
What is your opinion on no taxation without representation?
I don't necessarily agree with it. I think if you are going to tax people, I think that the taxes have to have a purpose and go to allocate towards government resources, police, firemen, teachers, government workers, etc., etc., etc. So I think if you do tax, they have to have a purpose to go someplace.
What's your opinion on taxation without representation?
Well, I'm glad we have it, or at least, I don't know how to say it. I guess the only way I could say is that I lived in England for 2 years, and they gave a tax. It was called the poll tax. No one knew about it. They had to pay a lot of money for it, and people were upset. And even though they're a democratic, parliamentary, whatever they are, they still didn't really have a whole lot of say. At least I have a say with whatever taxes through the voting process, or even with, especially in today's world, of putting Facebook or Instagram or whatever and get the opinions out there. But more importantly, talking to the representatives. Over there, this was in 1990, I think it happened, and the government just came out and said, all right, new tax, you gotta pay it. And people were upset. So I kind of saw that firsthand when you didn't have the representation. So I'm glad we have it. I can voice my opinion, and hopefully they listen to me.